It is a beautiful morning here at the Plaza de San Francisco, and I'm just kind of walking through these alleys, watching the whole city wake up, and I arrive here at the Museum of Don Quixote. Now, Don Quixote is a famous character, obviously in Spain, but he's absolutely huge here in Mexico, especially in Guanajuato. We have statues, we have hotels named after him, restaurants named after him. He's such an icon, and it's just when you're in a place that has so many colors, so much vibrancy, but does have certain themes, right? Every city has their own thing. I'm from New York City. Imagine coming to New York City and not getting an image of the Empire State Building, right? I want to get certain shots here because it does represent this city. Don Quixote is an absolute huge character here in this city, so I really want to make sure I capture at least 1 or 2 photos of him. And what better place to do that than right in front of the museum where we have a beautiful sculpture. Let me show you what I'm working with here. I'm going to open up my camera app. We're going to work the scene, but let's take a couple of bad photos first. Here's one. Here's another bad photo here. So we got those out of the way. We're going to get a lot more bad photos. You may not see all of them, but I can guarantee you I'm going to take a whole lot more bad photos. And I'm totally fine with that, and you should be too. We have to start somewhere. We need to work a scene. The odds of you standing in the perfect place at the perfect light with the perfect lens and perfect composition is basically 0. There's a whole lot of things that are wrong with this. The most obvious one here is that we have this sign. I'm not even sure what it is. It's something about the election. Either way, it's ugly, it's distracting. We don't want it. We're cutting off a big part of his body here. It's not the end of the world, but it's just a detail we should pay attention to. So we know we don't want to work this angle. Let me see if I can move around to this side here. And the photo's starting to get worse, I think. We have another sign on this door, and the door's not really that interesting, right? If this museum was clever, especially in the age of Instagram, they would paint that door a bright red or a bright blue, something that would kind of attract photos, and then maybe they'd put something behind here so everyone would want to stop and take an Instagram-worthy photo in front of this museum. But I don't think this museum has caught up to this just yet. Now, if I move around to this direction here, it's not really that interesting yet. It's starting to get better though, right? If I just rotate my camera, now I'm starting getting a cleaner composition. A few things are happening here. I'm trying to either include or cut off this, whatever this is on the top left. It's like an emblem or something. It's not terrible, but it's not really that interesting either. So what I might try and do is just move to the left a little bit and then pan the camera to the right, and now I'm getting a cleaner composition just about here. Now I do know I'm cutting off the bottom of the sculpture. I don't know if I'm going to be able to include it entirely, but I'm gonna walk backwards, and when I do, we still have that emblem on the left. Now I can easily remove that if it's a distraction or try to include it. I like to use what's called actually, I'm not sure what it's gonna be called, so I'm gonna call it the traffic light method. So what do I mean by that? Think about it in terms of green is this sculpture. Green is go. Green is the absolute most important thing in the scene. It's what I want to include, and it's what I want to make sure I don't cut off. Yellow is something that's in between. Yellow is sort of like a warning, right? So yellow is this emblem in this case. It's not bad. I don't absolutely need to cut it off, but it's not helping either. It's something that I can try and remove if the opportunity arises, but it's not actually going to make the photo worse. Red is something that is an absolute distraction. This is red. These trees would be more of a red in this scene unless it served as some sort of like a natural framing. But this is clearly a red. This emblem is a yellow. This sculpture is a green. So if that makes sense to you, you're more than welcome to try that in your photography. Think to yourself, what's the green and what's the red? And try and identify that and use that as a sort of framework to try and get a better image by deciding what's the most important part of the scene and what do I absolutely need to remove. We want to try all of our angles here. Now I might be able to use that white sky. If I get down low enough, that sky is actually changing colors as it starts to expose for that sky. Bring the exposure down and bring a little bit more blue into that sky. Hopefully it's gonna stay that way and get even more colorful. Now we're starting to at least use a little bit of a silhouette here to get a unique shot. It's not, again, a world-class image, but it's a different angle that I'm pretty sure no one's gotten before, or very few people took the time to crouch behind the statue and get this image. It's just a unique angle. Now, while I'm here, I might want to switch over my 0.5 just to see if I can capture a little bit more information about the sculpture. Now I'm actually getting a slightly better image because I'm including the entire sculpture here. Now what I'm doing is trying to keep his head in a clean spot. Maybe if I get further away, there we go. At least I can get his hand in a clean spot as well. Separate from that red building. I'm gonna take this photo. And the church bells are saying, move on, time for another composition. Shooting with the super wide already gives me a little bit more fun, a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more playful type of an image. So what I'm gonna try and do is get really close to him here. So look at this perspective, a completely different, completely unique, and a very kind of playful perspective. It's immersive. It almost feels like you're standing right over his shoulder. That's because we're standing right over his shoulder. The fact that I'm using an iPhone and no one's taking me seriously lets me get away with so much more. And ultimately lets me get away with a much more interesting, playful, creative composition. Now look at what is going on here. See that sky completely blown out? We don't want that. That's because we have more shadow than we do highlights. But the second I just rotate this a little bit, the iPhone sort of recorrects and it says, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to expose both for the shadows and the highlights. Let me bring that sky down for you. It's actually quite remarkable what the iPhone is doing. It's blending both the highlights and the shadows into a single image using HDR. Depending on any slight movement I make, it might disappear, right? If I come over here, that sky is gonna completely blown out. All I need to do is kind of tap on that sky, it'll bring it back. Now, his ear isn't the most important thing, but having his perspective, this is what this statue sees. You're identifying with this scene. So what I'm gonna try and do is try and get a little bit closer to him here and try and get a perspective that just, it kind of feels like you're seeing what he sees. That's the point. All we need is one more second for that last person to exit the frame. Perfect. We got that shot right there. That's all we need. I'm gonna climb up on him again and see if I can get a shot of him looking down at the same view that he has. Now here's the problem. I might have to dance with him a little bit. Yes, this is absolutely ridiculous, but I want to try and include his hand and get the camera looking back at him from the same position that he's looking forward.
I'll make you move like your boots are on fire. I'll make you jump like you touch a live wire. Ain't no sitting down when I get in the zone. Just give me my crown, let the king take his throne.
Now, we totally worked the scene. We got so many cool, unique angles of Don. Nailed it. Now, I do want to move forward just a little bit. As I was talking through that last composition, I saw this other statue, just the feet of this other statue. I'm gonna see if I can use those feet as either a foreground or some sort of natural framing. I have no idea if it's gonna work out, but let's see if it does. This video was a free preview of my Capture It All online course. In this course, you'll discover how to use your iPhone to literally capture everything that's happening around you. We'll talk about composition, storytelling, timing, photographing people, recording videos, time lapses, flying a drone, and so much more. If you'd like to use your iPhone to its fullest potential, please take a look at the full version of Capture It All. You'll find the link in the description right next to this video. So click on that link right now and I'll see you inside the full version of the course.